You are listening to The Radiator, and now begins Rocket Shop Radio Hour. I'm your host, Abby BK, and with us in the studio, we have Moth.
How's it going?
How you guys doing?
We're good. Happy to be here. Stoked to play.
Yeah, welcome to the studio. Or welcome back, I should say, for Peter over there. But so just to begin, I always like to go around with bands and have everyone say their name and their instruments so that those listening can know who's making the awesome music that we're going to hear soon. So do we want to just go around in a corner, maybe start at Peter and
I'll start.
Loop around?
My name's Peter. I play guitar and sing occasionally.
My name's Jeff, and I play the drums.
I'm Emmeline. I'm on vocals.
Hello, I'm Jack. I play the bass.
Awesome. And I'd love to know a little bit more about how you all found each other and started this band. So you're relatively new. This is I think you said your fourth performance. So take us through the beginnings of your band.
Started a few years ago. Me and Jack went to college together, and I played guitar since high school. Never really did anything with it. Just learned a few songs, and I don't know why we started jamming, but I made you pick up the bass. You can come over to the mic.
I had wanted to play music for a long time and never had a reason. And Peter played guitar, and we had a friend that played drums. I was like, well, I guess I'll learn how to play the bass. That makes sense then. So
I was like, you should pick up the bass. It'd be sick, sure. Dude. We could jam, play songs, and He did, and he learned the bass. He learned Soul to Squeeze was your first song.
A lot of Chili's at first, but that was the go-to, and I still sort of know it here.
But that's sort of how we started playing, and we played through college, and then after we graduated, we kept jamming with various people here and there. Nothing really picked up. We were trying to write songs and stuff, but yeah, we didn't really get our feet under us until we were introduced to Jeff. And when we played with Jeff, it was like an instant connection. He got it, and he'd played in several bands before and played lots of shows and stuff. And that was kind of what we were hoping to get into. And he gave us the confidence and got the juices flowing to do that. And
the process of getting from a started song to seeing it to the finish, which we had a lot of works in progress, but not much completed things. So once we started playing with Jeff, he helped us a lot to see things to the end and write completed songs. And the first song we're playing today was we played it with Jeff, and he was like, oh wow, that's super cool. We just need to find some femme vocals on it and we're good. And then we met Emmeline and we're like, perfect, we can have Emmeline sing vocals and we got our song. So yeah, that's kind of the starting of the band, of how we all got to know each other.
Yeah, awesome. And so you both are playing in college. So how long have you been playing drums, Jeff? And how long have you been singing and doing music, Emmeline?
I guess I've been playing drums probably since I was about 9 years old. And I just, played through high school and a little bit in college, and I don't know, been doing it for a while. So
I've been singing since middle school, I guess. I was in the chorus and the theater crew.
Heck yeah, we love a theater kid. I was one too. And what were the other bands that you were in, Jeff? Were you playing in the Burlington scene? Were you playing around?
So before coming up here, I was actually in Tallahassee, and I played with a group called Solo Crow, which no longer exists, and I was playing in a band called Feedlot. But those are a couple years past now.
Gotcha.
So,
Awesome. And here you are. Well, we would love to hear your first song. So what have you got for us?
Yeah, this is a song Jack and I wrote, and then it didn't really come to life until we played it with these guys. So called Itch.
Come and think of running back.
Moth Mouth. So in your description that you provided to us, you had an amazing story behind your band name, which I'm dying to hear you talk a bit more about. So do you want to give everyone the synopsis and let us
Okay.
into your stories?
We took a couple liberties with that exact story,
I know,
but something
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
did happen. So we actually came up with the name. I don't even know what we were doing. We were having drinks somewhere, and our first show was coming up, and we didn't have a name. And it came up in conversation, and we just like needed something. So we were like, all right, that's our name. Like it came naturally. But the night before that first show, I was like getting ready for bed, and my girlfriend came running into the bedroom screaming like, oh my God, there's a sound in the other room. And I had to get up and go check, you know, in case there's an intruder. And I turned on the light, and a big ass moth was flying around this light. And I was like, oh my God, it's an omen. But I was like, I gotta get it out of my house. And I went to like get it, and it disappeared. It like fell to the ground,
Ooh.
and it was like nowhere to be seen. It was like,
Forever.
that is crazy. And thus, it was the right name that we chose, I suppose. Yeah. So that's the story. There, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it seems meant to be. That was fate right there, you know, confirming that this was meant to be your name. So, what is your process for writing songs? So how do you go about all collaborating together on the material that you've written? I know that you said that you two had started out with some of the material, but how have you formed it to be what it is now?
Usually starts with a guitar riff by Peter, and then kind of just builds from there, bass and drums, and then I usually just put vocals over everything.
Okay, interesting. So it's usually vocals last. Yeah. So how do you kind of go about like what inspires you to know the lyrics to the songs?
Well, sometimes I get help from these guys, like our one song, Trash. That was Jeff's idea. So then I just kind of built lyrics around that idea of like a trash can person. And then I don't know, sometimes it'll just be like a phrase that pops into my head, like from the vocal, like the melody.
Mhm.
And then I'll just build it around that idea also.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And how often are you coming together and fleshing things out and jamming and such?
We usually try to do about 2 times a week,
Mhm.
sometimes 3 if we're feeling it, but it's usually 2.
Yeah. Nice. And how many like songs do you have in the queue? Like, do you feel like you're writing frequently? Is there like a lot that you've going on? Or are you
It comes
focusing
in
on a few?
waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have like 8 right now.
Okay.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
Some in the works.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was just gone for
Yeah,
a couple
talking to-
months. Oh, right, the mic.
Mike.
I was just gone for a couple months, so we weren't able to like do anything writing wise. But now that we're all back, we're pretty stoked to have a chance to do some more writing and actively like push out more songs. As it's challenging but very fun and rewarding to be doing that.
Yeah, totally. And as part of that, are you hoping to like record them as well and put them out on platforms and such?
There's talk of recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a friend who has a studio that
Oh,
we're
sweet.
going to go check out. And we'll see how that goes and see what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And if it sounds cool and we want to do that. I think we want to record our stuff at some point. I think we're
Yeah.
still exploring our tone and our sound and our
Mhm.
songwriting capabilities. So we
Right.
kind of want to flesh that out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're so new that we like have some songs that we've wrote when we first got together
Mhm.
that we're like ready to move on from, I guess. Like
Mhm.
explore heavier tones and faster songwriting. And
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of one of my questions too, that, you know, if you're still finding your sound, like what do you hope to kind of experiment with? Like, are there certain avenues that you like feel like you're kind of leaning into that you want to focus on more now that you have like this energy together? Or anything like new you want to try out?
I mean, Yeah, I definitely really enjoy like a chunky bass line where I could just like hang out, hold that down, and Peter can just like rip it up behind there, and I'm like scream over it and just I don't know. I definitely love like simple, just like yeah, like simplicity, simple riffs that just rip. I don't know.
Let it
And the
rip.
groove too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we like that song you just heard
Mhm.
was sort of the last song that we wrote on our own.
Okay.
And that was when we were like, we want to explore heavier tonality.
Mm,
So we just sort of like, let's keep it simple and do some power chords.
yeah.
And since then, we're like, I think we each got a fuzz pedal and we're like exploring different pedal sounds and amps. And funny enough, Jeff is like the tone guy. He's the gear dude. He's like, you should check out this pedal or this amp and
Oh, sick.
try it out.
That's how I got
And
this amp. I didn't know that one. I'm like, Jeff, what do I want? And he was like, this one. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, I'll get it.
And one practice too, he was like, why don't we try tuning down a whole step and see what that sounds like? And now it's like what we write in. And
Yeah.
it sounds darker.
Oh, cool.
Which we like.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So what is that experience like having like written that song or like a couple of the songs that you wrote like a few years back? What is it like now, like hearing it the way that you're doing it now? Like, did you hear initially in your brain that it was a bit heavier, or is that something that like because of working with these people, that's like what ended up happening just by going with the flow?
I think it was initially we liked that song and still play it because it was starting to push on that like heavier tone.
Mm-hmm.
But compared to like some of the other stuff now is like feels pretty mild. But it definitely was like the start of building a heavier tone and having just like I think I had like just gotten a fuzz pedal and was like, wow, this is pretty fun to like have this like destructive sort of sound going on.
Yeah, go crazy.
Yeah. And so yeah, it's been really fun exploring new tones and just like seeing where that can go.
Yeah.
The tuning down was really fun. It also like worked out really well for Emlyn. It just like matched her vocal range a lot more. We're like, wow, this is cool. And then I left for 2 months, and now I'm back and we can work on it again.
Yay.
Also, having written that song, like playing it with Jeff for the first time, it was like, whoa, because you were in a metal band. That's kind of why we wanted to play with you. We were like, holy crap, that's what drums can sound like behind like simple power chords. Like, what else can we make happen? And then Emlyn started doing screaming.
Mhm.
We were like, whoa, what else can we make happen?
good.
Like, this
Yeah.
is so cool. So I guess that was kind of the build up.
Yeah, totally. And I'd love to ask you about like your singing and also like the screaming. Like, was that something that you had done before, or is this the first time that you have started singing in that way?
The screaming, I think, Jack, I think you like suggested I try to do it. Oh, someone just like put in my head like, hey, it would be cool if you could try this.
Try
And
it.
I was like,
yeah.
all right. And so I like watched a couple like YouTube videos and read about how to do that technique.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it just like came out of me at practice one day and everyone was like, whoa.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, that's part of our sound now.
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, it's like so like I feel like you don't hear that too much in the scene. Like I feel like we have a pretty good like punk scene, but not necessarily. I mean, I haven't heard, I don't think, like screaming, at least in my space with people that I've interviewed. So it's cool to get like something new in this space. And it's so cool that you can use your voice in multiple ways and sound good doing it
Yeah, for sure.
in both techniques. Well, we would love to hear your second song. So what do you have for us for the second one?
This is Clove.
by Moth. So one question that I always think is really interesting to ask people is, in your own time, what kind of music do you like listening to? And is it similar to the vibe that you play, or do you listen to something completely different from what you play in this band?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it sometimes depends. In the past, like, couple months, I've been listening to a lot more, like, hardcore, which I think inspired some of this. But one of my, like, all-time favorites is Modest Mouse, which definitely has a bit more of, like, the softer, but can also be a little bit more, like, chaotic and, like, heavy. That's my, like, go-to band recently is Modest Mouse, for sure. And there's this really cool band, Initiate, that small band out of California that has hardcore that I definitely like pull a lot from that as well.
Sweet.
For me, I don't know. I listen to a lot of stuff, and I kind of draw a little bit from everywhere. But I just generic answer, like a little bit of everything. So
Yeah.
Same, a little bit of everything.
yeah.
I'd say a little bit of everything too. Depends on the day. But we started like a Spotify playlist that we can all add to.
Oh, cool.
So they've introduced me to a lot of stuff and like more hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of like an inspiration playlist. Like, hey, this is a cool sound or song. Like, what if we did something like that? Or just like tonality, what sounds good. But yeah, all over the board. Hardcore, chill stuff.
That's cool. I like that idea of the shared playlist. Are most of the songs that are on that playlist like heavy metal, punk rock, like, or do you kind of pull from like different genres, just like you were saying, like for certain inspirations? Or does it tend to be like genre specific?
I'd say they're mostly hardcore.
Yeah.
Heaviers. Some metal.
I feel like we try to find a lot of female vocals also.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah, I love it. And so your first gig here in Burlington was at Art Hop, which is awesome. That's like my favorite like time of year is to be here during Art Hop. So what was that like? How did you secure that gig? How did it feel playing your first gig at such an amazing event?
It was so awesome. It's kind of funny. It felt like like when a sports team plays at home.
Mm-hmm.
We actually practice at Conant Metal and Light. Like that's where I work.
Okay.
And that's where the show was. It was like right outside.
Sick. Yeah.
Like my coworker was like, "What if we did a metal shop metal show?"
Whoa.
And I was
yeah.
like, "My band can play."
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's cheating. We like made our own first gig, but it worked out. It was super fun, and we didn't have to move any gear. It was all at the shop already. So
That's sweet.
pretty natural first time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else's thoughts? I feel like Art Hop is like such an iconic moment.
I was pretty stoked to play. We had like talked about doing it the year before, but didn't really have anything together to do it. And when like this opportunity came up, it definitely also like lit a fire under our ass to write some songs, get to like some finished versions. But I was stoked. I like live right down the street, so I just got to walk to where I usually practice, and we got to play a gig. And yeah, like I said, Art Hop's like a pretty classic Burlington event, so super cool to get to be a part of that.
Yeah, sweet. And how long was your first gig? So did you have to kind of like scramble to get songs together? Did you feel like well prepared? What was the preparation process for that?
3 to 5 songs.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
remember how many we did.
We had like
6 maybe.
Yeah, I think we had like 4 or 5 originals, and then we played 3 or 4 covers.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely a blend, and we're pretty excited to have moved into a place where we can just play originals. We have enough content to do shows, like full sets of that, we're very excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you're playing the gigs that you have upcoming and the ones that you've played since Art Hop, are you just playing all of your originals as you are like tonight, or are you still incorporating some different covers in your sets too?
now we're doing all original.
All original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've tossed around ideas of
Yeah.
covers, but it's
Uh-huh.
only if we like really feel like it would be cool.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like we need filler. What song
Yeah,
should
yeah,
we play? But now it's like this would be sick to play, or
Right.
for
Yeah.
fun.
out of curiosity, what were like some of your like big covers that you did that you were your tried and trues for that time?
Well, the first one we played together was "Today" by Smashing Pumpkins. So we definitely used that, and I still like love playing that song. I think it's very fun. Not a general consensus, but we haven't really found a cover that we all like love coming back to playing. But I think today I got to sing "Drain You," which I was stoked about. I had no business doing that, but I got to sing. So it was fun.
You did a great job singing that Nirvana song. And Emily jumped on bass for it. That was sick, dude. We did a little instrument swap. I was singing a Fugazi song for a bit. It's like not traditionally heavy. It was the piano "I'm So Tired." And we sort of rockified that, which was really fun.
Yeah. I was kind of curious about that because I feel like personally, like some of my favorite covers is when you like can completely change the genre of a song that's known in another genre. So I was going to ask that, like, are any of the covers that you've done or that you hope to do like that? Like, are there any that like come to mind that you would like love to do that you think you could like totally like give it the Moth mouth
I also
treatment?
like doing that. And
Yeah.
it's like nothing's actually come to mind since we did that. Like that one we really changed. But I want to do that again if we're going to do a cover.
Totally.
Instead of just
Playing the cover.
copy paste playing the cover. It's
Make
more
it
fun
your
to
own.
Make it our own in some way.
Totally.
I think that's why we probably haven't added another cover to our set because we haven't done that since
Yeah.
that song. So yeah.
Yeah. And then what are your like hopes for gigging? Like, are you hoping to continue on the grind of playing a lot of gigs? What places are you hoping to play at? And yeah, like what are your aspirations for putting yourself out there?
Maybe a shameless plug. Anybody who needs a band?
Yeah. Book Moth mouth. Hell yeah.
Radio Bean would be cool. We've never played there. We've only played Despacito out in Burlington. Do you guys know of any other places that like
Around town?
that would do heavier stuff?
Drink this stuff in the basement.
Drink?
It's a cool spot to play.
Yeah. It'd be cool to play in different spots around town. And since Jack got back from his vacation, we're going to start writing more, like putting sets together and new songs. Yeah.
Have you thought of exploring, or maybe you already have, some of the like basement venues? Because I know that they do like a lot of the more hardcore stuff. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing? I know there's some like pretty popular ones around.
Yeah, I reached out to one a couple weeks ago, so we're talking to them. But yeah, we're definitely interested in playing basement stuff for sure.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Because I guess that is true that some places might not want something like super loud, but I feel like that's just true for like any band, you know, like any band when you set up in like a small bar, because all these bars are like these like quaint little places in Burlington. Like it's going to get loud even if you're not hard rock or punk or whatever. Monkey House, there you go. That's another one that could be
They
great.
stopped doing heavier stuff.
Oh, wait, they did stop doing punk, I think. Yeah. Just say that you're some other genre and then go in and come on, it's fine.
Say folk.
They won't know until you start screaming. So, all right. Well, we would love to hear your third song. So, what have you got?
This is Trash.
Moth mouth with trash. Over here losing my voice. So in terms of your favorite artists, we kind of talked about a little bit about like who you're listening to. But one question I think is really fun as well is if you had to choose one person, living or dead, a musician, to play in your band or to like have like one set with, is there like one particular artist or band that you think you would choose? And why would you choose them? It's a hard question. It stumps people, but
That is a really hard question to play in our band.
maybe like a specific artist on your playlist that you feel like it's a
I would
toughie.
choose Jeff Buckley to replace myself. So you can just enjoy that.
I love that. Love Jeff Buckley.
Oh my god.
Any other ideas? Anyone else have any other opinions?
As long as we're replacing ourselves. John Frusciante is just like greatest guitarist.
Hell yeah.
Jeff?
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah. It is hard. Yeah.
Sorry, Jack.
Nothing on that one.
It's okay. It's a tough one, but I'm always curious because, you know, some people know on the fly and others it's a toughie. So no worries there. Well, we are kind of coming closer to the end of the show. So at the end of the show, we always like to give everyone the chance to really hype yourself up, promote yourself, let everyone know where you're playing next, where to listen to you and all that jazz. So the floor is yours to do just that.
Find us on Instagram, and we got shows coming up. A show coming up this Friday at Despacito. Hopefully more shows in the future.
7 p.m. Despacito?
8 p.m. I
Oh,
think.
8 p.m. Okay.
Yeah.
Our Instagram is _moth.mouth_.
Nice.
Awesome.
And hopefully we'll have some songs on some platforms soon.
Yeah.
Also, to go back to like the basement shows, would love to play basement shows. I feel like that is a fun vibe to be a part of. So anyone who has a basement and wants to host us, let us know. We would love to come play.
Excellent point.
Yeah, totally. And stay tuned for maybe recorded tracks in the future. Well, what is your last song of the night?
Lathe.
missing. I know I'm missing it. All the things I had to do became in monotone. The second double of me, the same what I need. You took me like it's on his. Won't find me on my knees. I always had my doubts about his silver disdain, but now I know the honest truth and I am free of shame. Before I realize when my teeth into his skin, now that's a fucking woman. And she is here to stay! What can kill me? What can kill me? What can kill me? I ask my God forsaking me, the angel fell from grace. When I begin to fall, the flesh around me formed an image as if my was really born. Now I found another better place to stay. The angel fell from grace, but the wicked know the way. So give me your response, the flesh of the need. The angel that you sent around my righteous way.
Moth Mouth. Well, thank you all so much for coming on the show. It was great to see you and hear you. And definitely stay in contact and let us know when you have your next gigs. And if you end up releasing and recording music, make sure to send it over to us and we'll play it on our station. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Totally. And listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to Rocket Shop Radio Hour at Big Heavy World on the Radiator. I'm your host, Abby BK, and we hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you so much.